Gender-based violence or violence against women and girls is one of the most common and widespread human rights violations, affecting 1 in 3 women in their lifetime. These incidences cost the Ugandan economy about 77 billion Uganda shillings annually.
If action it wasn't there, how will women standing in their homes? Because the number of women being abused in different fashions are too many.
A 12-year-old was defiled by her uncle several times. She was threatened to never disclose this to anyone or else she would be killed. On one of the occasions, she was on her way to fetch water and the same perpetrator grabbed her, forced her into the bush and defiled her at knife point. Alanya was admitted to the shelter for psychological support to alleviate mental distress due to the trauma she experienced. While at the shelter, she wondered if she would still live because she was infected with HIV.
I asked her what happened. Immediately, I rushed to the police, who then told me to bring or reveal where the man stays. The police went to arrest him as we headed with the girl to the hospital, but unfortunately, Christine was found HIV positive. The boy was taken by the police and screened, also found HIV/AIDS positive.
So the survivor was admitted to the GBV shelter for 3 days, where she was offered counseling because she was so traumatized to the extent that she wanted to commit suicide. So for the 3 days that she was at the GBV shelter, we stayed with her, offering counseling, but also providing information on positive living. We have been doing home follow-up to ensure that continued counseling is provided to the mother and the daughter.
Susan Achora is a young woman who is a survivor of physical violence. She was battered daily by her husband when he got home drunk. One day, she was badly beaten that she fell into a coma while she was 8 months pregnant.
I'm Susan. I got married to my husband in 2018 and we started living peacefully until when his friends started giving him wrong advice not to stay with me because I'm not good enough for him. He listened to his friends and he turned violence towards me. He started beating me until one day he beat me so badly when I was 8 months old pregnant to the extent that I had to be admitted in the hospital for 3 days.
At 12 years old, Stella's parents wanted to marry her off against her will. She was harassed by them until she had to seek refuge kilometers from home. Even then, her perpetrators continued to follow her. She finally felt relief when she was admitted at the GBV shelter in Moroto district.
First of all, she left home. She was sleeping in the bush because of what happened to her. She wanted to dodge the parents and the perpetrator, so she was sleeping in the bush. Then also she was traumatized. She was not in her normal senses. Every time she could feel they are coming after her, so the trauma was too much on her. Also, she dropped out of school. She was in school, but because the parents wanted to give her out, when they reached here, first of all, they knew they are already safe. They are in the safe environment, in the right hands, and they are in a safe place also, whereby at least no one can easily access them. Even the trauma already disappeared. They were free. They were able to interact with each other freely. The trauma also disappeared.
GBV shelters are a part of the referral system that provide victims and survivors with a temporary refuge, lodging and other services, as well as link them to medical, legal, economic and psychosocial services.
Okay, when the survivors come, we do give them counseling, psychosocial support and guidance. And we also go ahead to encourage them on income generating activities. For some of the cases, like especially the mothers Yes, they come and complain. My husband has done this, he has refused to support me, but we encourage them also to be empowered on their own. So we give them skills like maybe opening those businesses, do farming. We have a lot of land. So we encourage them to do farming and maybe sell or at least keep the family going on.
At every stage that the survivor reaches, there is always a need for financial support. For example, as I said, when they come here, they have immediate needs that still need money. When you refer them maybe to police, there is still an aspect of financial support. When it comes, maybe when the matter is reaching to a level of going to court, there is still financial support there because you need to file a case for this person. There are always charges in what? In court. They need filing fee, they need a fee for summoning the other person. All those fees there, this person is not able to get. So the person will always look upon to the shelter to see how is my case, has it been filed, is the lawyer coming, has the summon been given. So to effectively really make these shelters effective, when the shelters need financial support.
Susan, Alanyo and Stella all benefited from these services, and this helped them recover from the trauma they each went through. Women and girls fear to report incidences due to poverty, lack of awareness, lengthy formal procedures, weak enforcement of laws, and financial dependence. Caregivers say GBV shelters have tremendously helped in creating healing, but also safe spaces to victims and survivors of GBV. It is here that protection, psychosocial support, legal support, and skills development is planned and given to victims.
The shelter has been really so much beneficial. Why? For instance, you realize that we developed the referral pathway, which is in place. We also customize it to fit the sub-county. You realize that we have many cases of female genital mutilation in the Tepeth community. We have issues of child marriages down in the community. Then we have also cases of capital nature, like aggravated defilement cases. So most of these survivors run for rescue. So you realize that we accommodate them at our GBV shelter. So that's why you realize that the GBV shelter is so much beneficial to us. Why? Because we provide psychosocial support, we accommodate children, we give them food. Then at the end of it all, we reintegrate them to be with their families. So we feel this is a safer haven for them, for these children, for the girls, so that they are never traumatized. This is a safer place for them.
In communities where shelters have been closed, challenges are imminent. In Moroto, for example, survivors of violence share the same facility with district officers, something caregivers say can expose them further.
We also have a challenge of resources to maintain them. Just as you have heard that our shelter is closed, those are the challenges that we have. If there are no partners, or there last time Mifumi was running the shelter, but later on I think the funds got finished and the survivors had to be brought back. Of course, one of the challenges is keeping them here in the police. But of course, we have nowhere to send them. It is our duty to protect them until when we see that it's safe for them to go back. So the challenge we have is, one, the resources are not all that. And then of course, the shelter is not fully fledged, it's not running fully. Funds not there all the time. And one of the challenges we also have is accessing those areas which are inaccessible, like the mountain. Like the girls we have right now, they are all from the mountain.
Shelters play a vital role in GBV response. They are a safe haven for survivors and have become a beacon of hope in communities and an example of what can be achieved when there is a solidarity against the crime of violence against women and girls in many parts of Uganda. There are 11 shelters in Uganda that have benefited from development partner support in sustaining their operations. These are in Lira, Namutumba, Kamuli, Masaka, Mbarara, Tororo, Moroto, Amdat, Terego, Jinja, and Kampala. A total of 13,949 have accessed and been supported by these shelters between 2019 to 2022. This life-saving support must be sustained.
And this is something that all stakeholders, together with the district local government, we are joining hands together to ensure that we fight this monster of GBV, violence against children, women and girls.
It is our hope that even if Action Aid is not here tomorrow, any agency or government by that time would still follow up these matters since they are documented through our GBV database, the national one and the MIS for the institution, and also we maintain physical files.